Now, as we've been mentioning in the last couple of updates, we have the new NCC that's coming out. There's been a lot of talk about it. There's been a number of previews. Our trainers are really hot on this. Hi, and welcome to another industry update with Builder Registration on the 7th of November 2022. We had another big week of Builder Registration. We've got 6 new licenses, 4 domestic and 2 interstate. So a huge congratulations to Jim Gay, Mehran Naghipour, Upkar Singh, Paul Venus, Yousif Thomas, and Ben Devlin. Thank you so much for choosing Builder Registration as your industry partner. As we've been mentioning in the last couple of updates, we have the new NCC that's coming out. There's been a lot of talk about it. There's been a number of previews. Our trainers are really hot on this. And just to give you a bit of an idea, a trainer tip for this week is that with the new NCC under Regulation 233 for existing buildings, whenever you have an alteration to the building that affects 50% of the existing building, including work in the previous 3 years, you have to bring the entire building up to code. Now that's a really big thing. So if you had the front half of the house or 3/4 of the house where you're actually making significant renovations, that would mean that any, for example, doorways in the rest of the home, according to Regulation 233 in the NCC, you would have to bring up to code to make sure it is absolutely compliant. Now, it's a bit interesting there because if there was a bathroom that you were not renovating, you wouldn't have to literally pull down the tiles and update the waterproofing, but for any visual like doorway or hallways or other updates, you would have to bring up to date. So it's really important. The other thing is knowing whenever you're doing an update on a house, it's not just that renovation, it's any renovation that's been done over the last 3 years. So it's affecting more than 50% of the house, the whole house has to be brought up to code. So again, it's a bit of a preview for one of the significant changes that's coming with the new NCC. For our VBA update this week, we want to talk about the way that the applications are going through the VBA and transitioning through. In the last 2 years, we've found a significant change. It used to be that every day, a couple of times a week, we would see every stage of the process, whether it's a desktop, audit, multiple choice, or interview. What we're finding now is right now, they're really going through in batches. So it's like they'll grab a big batch of say 50 files at a time and then take them through the desktop, audit, multiple choice, interview before grabbing the next batch. So it is meaning that the delays with the VBA are quite significant. I think a big part of that is having their staff working from home. Right now, they are interviewing applications that were submitted early to mid-May at the moment. So if you were submitted after that, we do unfortunately have to be patient, but at the moment, we're finding that batch system is the way that the VBA are assessing the applications. By far, the most popular product or service that we do regarding these updates are always our tabs. They're absolutely stunning and they're absolutely the most popular feature whenever we do these weekly updates. One thing I wanted to show was that's our NCC, and then we'll have an updated one for that for next year with the new NCC. One thing I like to show is actually what the tabs come like when you order them yourself. So that there is the NCC tab, and that there's for all the Australian standards and the other 19 books that we have with the Builder Registration package. So I just thought I'd take a chance to show you. You also see here is that we actually have a pack of stickers, and with the stickers, we put them inside of the covers of a few of the books, and it's an extra bit of information that you can sort of sneak into your VBA interview. So thanks for joining us on another industry update. As we mentioned last week, we have our final course kicking off on the 23rd of November, where it's our last Zoom course for the year. Otherwise, we have a big batch of courses starting at our peak time, which is February and March next year. We already have sold about 10 or 20% of each course starting in February and March. So if you are interested in getting your license this year, reach out and register for the courses early. What we do is we work on the application immediately. Get that punched out over Christmas, have it sitting on a shelf ready to go, and then that means you're free of mind when you sit down to take your course in February, March, knowing that your application is completed, sitting on a shelf, ready to be submitted at the VBA. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Thank you.